All right, so it's been so long since I recorded a video for YouTube. Essentially, I'm doing this because I want to be able to have a video to put on my blog. Um, and I felt that the best video to do would be a 20 questions video. These are questions that I just found offline, and it's actually on the Power of Positivity website. And it's 20 questions to ask someone that will reveal their true self. And I haven't done this in a really long time on my YouTube channel or on my blog, so I felt like this would be a really good opportunity to go ahead and get that out of the way. And just because I want to make more videos again. I'm in a better place right now, in a better space in my life, that I have the time to actually sit down and get back to the writing and back to blogging and vlogging and all of that fun stuff and making videos. So I know that my videos don't reach too many people, but I know there are a few select people who like to watch my videos because they like to see what's going on in my life. So here we are. And I really wish you guys could see my setup right now. My son took my tripod. I don't know where he put it. So my setup right now is real janky, but it's working. So let's go ahead and jump right into these 20 questions. I already read through some of them just to make sure that they would even be interesting, and they seem pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So the first question is, what's your life motto or philosophy you live by? Now, for me, I think my biggest life motto is, and I hope that I get this quote right because I haven't said it in a long time, but maybe I should so I can remember what my life motto is. But shoot, live as if you'll die today. Darn it, I'm gonna have to edit this out. Live as if you'll die today. Anyway, let's not use that one. So the other one is, oh, I feel really bad that I can't remember what it is. Okay, let me go to my Twitter because I do have it there. I am really not prepared. Little blooper here for you. I'm not sure if I'm gonna edit this out or not, or keep it in, because this is really funny. Oh, I'm really upset that I'm having a brain fart right now and I cannot remember what this quote is. Okay, maybe we should get back to that question while I'm doing my little research here, because this is not, yeah, I don't live as if you'll die today. Oh, okay, we'll get back to that. Question number 2. What's your favorite thing about yourself? Well, my favorite thing about myself is that I feel like I am a very outspoken and honest person, especially when it comes to my friends. I don't feel like I should have to sugarcoat anything because I wouldn't want anybody sugarcoating anything with me. So I do feel like I am a very honest and loyal person. And that's mainly because those are kind of the attributes that I would want my friends to have towards me. So that's kind of what I try to live by and instill in my friends, because I want them to feel like they can always trust me and they can come to me with anything, and a lot of the times they do. I'm a really easy person to talk to, so that is probably my favorite thing about myself. Number 3, do you follow a religion or spiritual practice? I won't say that I follow a religion. I grew up Baptist, and I don't really have a spiritual practice. I am a spiritual person. I do believe in God and I do pray. Do I go to church as often as I should? No. But I do believe that if you have a strong relationship with God, then that's okay too. I don't feel like you should always, you should have to be in church every Sunday, but I do believe in God. I do believe that there's a higher power. So I would say that I have spiritual beliefs. Number 4, what was the best time of your life? I have had a lot of really good times in my life, but I would say the best time of my life has probably been any time that I've been on a cruise with my family. We used to go every other year. We haven't gone in a while, but we're having a family trip this year. It won't be on a cruise, but anytime that I'm with my family is honestly the best time of my life because they are the best group of people to be around. We're all very fun and outgoing, and we like to have a good time. And I really was raised and brought up in a terrific family. We always have each other's backs. So any time with my family is probably the best time of my life. Number 5, what was the worst thing that ever happened to you? I would probably say the worst thing that's ever happened to me was recently. I have really bad anxiety and depression, and I kind of had like a mental breakdown, and I spoke about that in one of my posts a few days ago. And that was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me because I really felt like I had no control. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. It was a really awful time in my life, and I'm just really glad that that part is over, and I hope that it doesn't happen again. What's your biggest dream? My biggest dream really is that I can get to a point in my life where I can take care of my family. And when I say that, I mean my mother, my grandmother, because they are 2 people who have really done everything that they can to make sure that I'm stable and successful in life, and they have taught me a lot. And I also want to, take care of my dad, just my parents, my family in general, because they've done a lot for me. I try to be an independent person, but sometimes my pride gets in the way, and they have to help me from time to time. And so I kind of just want to pay them back for that, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my biggest dream, is to get to a point where I can take care of my family. They don't have to worry about anything, and I can kind of be there for them, how they have been here for me or been there for me. I know that usually life comes full circle that way because your parents take care of you when you're young, and then when they get older and they're not really able to take care of themselves, and the roles are reversed. But I want to be able to take care of my family before they ever even get to that point. Just so, like I said, I can kind of give back to them what they gave to me, because I love them. Number 7, what did you want to be when you were a kid? When I was a kid, I wanted to be 2 things. First, I wanted to be a teacher. When I was a child, I used to, and this is before I had siblings, I used to take my stuffed animals and I would put them in chairs and I would stand in front of them and I would pretend like I was teaching at a chalkboard and, the whole shebang. And I did teach for a little bit, so that kind of became a reality. I loved it when I was teaching. I love working with children. I love just like their creative minds, and I like just their innocence. Like they haven't really experienced the world, so it's very innocent, it's very pure, and I loved working with children who are 7 and under, because they are honest and they don't sugarcoat anything, and that when they tell you something, they genuinely mean it, because they haven't really mastered the art of lying. So that was one thing that I wanted to be when I was a kid. And then the second thing I wanted to be was an OBGYN. I actually went to college and majored in biology pre-med. I made it through the first year or 2, and then I went and got my teaching degree. So I did not fulfill that aspect of what I wanted to be, but it's never too late. I feel like I may go back into the medical field, not sure, maybe just as nursing. But as a child, I definitely wanted to be an OBGYN. I wanted to deliver babies. So, yeah. Number 8, what is your biggest accomplishment? One of my biggest accomplishments is having my son, because he changed a lot in my life in a time where I was kind of all over the place and didn't really have a purpose. And then another accomplishment was moving from one side of the world to the other completely by myself, not really knowing what I was going to do next, where I was going to go next. I just up and did it. I feel like sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and see where you land, and that's what I did. And so that was the biggest accomplishment, because I could have stayed where I was. I could have stayed dormant. I could have still been at my mom's house and, you know, kind of not really going anywhere. And I didn't want that in life. I wanted to do more. I wanted to explore more. And so that's what I did. I didn't think about other people's opinions of how that would be and how that would turn out. I just kind of up and did it because that's what I wanted to do. And I'm glad that I did. I'm really proud of myself. I don't give myself enough credit, but I am really proud of myself for the decisions that I've made over the past 5-6 years and the things that I've decided to do, because it's really shown my strength as a person. That I was able to just kind of get out there and go into the unknown and kind of make something of myself without having to rely so much on my family and their backup and always being there for me, and kind of using that as a clutch. So that is a huge accomplishment for me. I didn't think that I would be here where I am, doing what I'm doing, but I'm here. Number 9. Why do you think we're all here? I think that each person when they're born kind of has a purpose in life. And I think that your life journey is to find out what that purpose is. Some people find out what that purpose is earlier in life. Some people find that purpose later in life. Some people don't find it at all. But I think that we're all here for a reason, whether it's to connect with other people and be a positive influence for them, or whether it's to be a doctor or a lawyer or actor or actress or singer. Like, I feel like everyone has a purpose. And when you're going through this journey called life, that's not always easy. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. I think that the reason why we go through the things that we go through is to find our greater purpose. I don't know what my purpose is yet. Or maybe I just haven't realized what my purpose is. I feel like, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'm a great friend. I feel like I give great advice. I feel like I'm a great shoulder to lean on, to cry on. So maybe that's my purpose, but I don't foresee that really being my full potential here. But I think that's why we're all here. We have a greater purpose, this divine reason of why we're all here on earth, and we just have to kind of go through life and try to figure out what that purpose is. So that's why I think we're here. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. This is number 10, so we're halfway there. What was your best relationship? I don't know if they really want any relationship or they're specifically talking about a romantic relationship. This is a tough one. I think probably my best relationship was when I was in high school, with someone who we got along really well. We had great conversations. We genuinely liked each other. And I found that relationships where you don't have that intimacy, because sometimes sex can complicate things, I think those are the best relationships, because you build your relationship off of friendship. You build it off of really getting to know one another, and without having that sexual element in there, you find out things about each other that you otherwise would not have found out if you had just jumped into intimacy. So being that I was so young in high school and we had not taken that step, that probably was one of my best relationships, because we got to know each other and we genuinely cared about each other without it really being a physical thing. So that was one of my best relationships, and I'm not going to say the name because it's not important. And yeah. Number 11, if you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? Well, considering what we're going through right now with our new president and some of the things that he's trying to ban and some of the executive orders he's trying to put into place, if I could change one thing in the world right now, it would be the fact that he is our president. During the election, I was nervous for the outcome, but I wasn't scared. Now I'm genuinely scared because I don't know what our future is looking like, and I honestly am hoping that he is impeached, or something happens where he is no longer our president, that we don't have to go through this for 4 years, because the world is really taking a turn for the worse, and I'm really, really nervous about this. So I would change that. Number 12, do you like your job? If not, what would you like to do instead? I actually love my job. I just started a new position at a new spa, and a retreat, and I really, really love it. I love my supervisor. I love the people that I work with. I love the atmosphere. It's really stress-free. It's really drama-free. It's just a great environment to be in, to work with some really amazing people and interesting characters. So I really do love my job. I can honestly say that. Number 13, what are your favorite hobbies? My favorite hobbies are writing, texting, being on my cell phone, being on social media. I like to be social. Being with my friends, and that's probably one of my most favorite hobbies, is because I get to spend time with people that I genuinely care about, and we get to make memories. So that is my favorite one of my favorite hobbies. I also like to take pictures, not just of myself, although I do like to take pictures of myself, but I like to take pictures of others. I like to make memories. I like to print these pictures out. I like to put them all over my house. So that's probably one of my biggest hobbies as well. Number 14, if money was no object, what would you do in life? If money was not an object, honestly, I would travel to as many places as I could. If I just had the opportunity to not work and just to do whatever I wanted to do, I would seriously travel to as many countries for as long as I wanted with no care in the world. I would go to Santorini. That's really one place that I really, really, really want to go to more than anything. I would go to Italy. That's another place that I really, really want to go to. I would just travel. I would just travel with my family, with my friends, not have a care in the world, and just explore and just enjoy life. That's what I would do if money were no object, but we know that it is. So, number 15, have you ever broken someone's heart? I have. And the question that was asked earlier about my best relationship, that is the heart that I broke. I was very immature, and I was very impressionable, and I let people tell me things. And so I made some decisions that weren't the best, and I did break this person's heart for some stupid, tedious, irrelevant, minute reason, and I wish I could take it back, but I can't. But I did. It's a little heartbreaking for him, for me. Yeah. So if I could turn back the hand of time, I would definitely turn back to that time. 16, what are you thankful for? I've been talking about my family and friends pretty much this entire video. I am very thankful for them. I am thankful that I have an amazing family and group of friends. I am thankful for life, to be able to live on this earth, wake up every morning and see my son's beautiful face, and to know that we are okay, and that we are blessed to have a roof over our head, food on the table, clothes on our back, and that we are really able to have the means to enjoy life to the fullest, because I'm a very spontaneous person. Sometimes it is expensive to be a spontaneous person, but the fact that I have the means to do that, I'm very thankful for. 17, what do you wish people understood more about you? This is an amazing question, and I didn't even see this when I was looking through, but I'm very glad that it asked. One of the biggest misconceptions about me, and I think it's because of how I carry myself and sometimes the look on my face. For years, I always feel like I'm smiling on the inside, but I guess my outward appearance does not show that. So people are always like, smile, or what's wrong, and nothing's wrong. I'm genuinely happy. I'm genuinely in a good mood, but I guess my face is a different thing. And so a lot of the times when people first meet me, they think that I'm a bitch, that I'm stuck up. And I can see how they would get that because I tend to guard myself when I first meet someone. I'm an observer. So although I can be outgoing, I'm not outgoing until you really get to know me. I read people. I need to figure out what they're about before I kind of let anybody in. So a lot of people just think that I'm just this evil, mean-hearted person, and I'm not. And I could see how they would gather that just from the way that I look, just from my resting bitch face, but I'm not. I'm the nicest person. I have my moments, you know, I have my mood swings like everybody else, but to kind of get that sense that I might be a bitch or I might be stuck up just from looking at me or from speaking to me right off the bat, it's not true. And maybe it's my fault because, you know, first impressions are everything. So maybe I give off a bad first impression, but that's probably the one thing that I wish people understood more about me, is that I really am a fun-loving, happy, genuine person, and they don't always get that. They think, so many people have told me that when they first met me, they thought that I was a bitch, they thought that I was stuck up, and then they learned that that's not true. So maybe it's something that I need to do to kind of change people's first impression, but we'll work on that. 18, if you could turn back time and do anything differently, would you? So had I been asked this question a few years ago, I probably would have said yes. I probably would say that there are a number of things that I would turn back time and do different. I'm not going to name those things, but if you'd like to know, you can personally ask me. But now I would say no, because everything happens for a reason. And if things didn't happen the way that they did, then I would be in a different place. My life would be different. I always feel like if something was meant to be done in a different way, or the outcome was meant to be different, then it will be revisited. Kind of like, you know, when you love someone and it doesn't work out, and people give you that saying, oh, if it's meant to be, it'll come back, or whatever that saying is. I kind of feel like that about life. So if something happened and the outcome was different because of the circumstances at the time, if it's meant for that outcome to be a different way, then it'll be something that will be revisited in my life. That opportunity will arise again. That person will come back. That, you know, whatever. I feel like if it's meant to be, then it will be. 19, what's the craziest or most exciting thing you've ever done? If I had to go with the craziest, I would say it's probably not appropriate for this video. I have family and friends who see me in an innocent light, not really, see me in a certain light that I don't think that I should share that. But, geez, most exciting thing you've ever done. I don't know. I've done a lot of stuff. Maybe ATV riding. That was pretty exciting. Not anything too crazy. I want to skydive at some point, but I haven't yet. Shoot. I feel like I've done a lot of things, but I can't really think of anything in particular, so I'll have to get back to you on that. And number 20, what do you think about most often? So probably the one thing that I think about most often, and I probably shouldn't, but is I think about death a lot. I'm afraid of it, to be honest. Some days I am more afraid than others. Some days, you know, I feel like if it's my time, it's my time. I feel like I've lived a good life and I've had a good run. But other times, I really am afraid of how final it is. It's like I feel like I live an amazing life, and to die and not have that anymore is a little scary to me. So I think about that often. I think about people that I love and that I'm close to dying, and it doesn't sit well with me. I know that it's inevitable. I just wish it wasn't like a really permanent thing. But at the same time, you can't die and then come back. And, you know, I know people believe you can come back in other forms or, you know, whatever. But the bottom line is that it's final. And so that freaks me out a little bit, because I don't want to not be able to see my son or see my friends or see my family anymore. And so knowing that that is something that will happen hopefully later in life freaks me out just a little bit. But other than that, another thing that I think about often is where my life, what direction it'll head in. When will I get married? Will I have more children? Those are all things I think about all the time, because I'm always looking for that next step. So I always want to know how my life is going to end up. A lot of times I want to like go to a psychic, or I want to like look in a crystal ball so that I can know, so I can be prepared. But then at the same time, I'm just like, you know, whatever happens, happens. I don't want to know, because I want it to be a surprise. I don't want to ruin what's supposed to happen in my future. And then to get back to question number 1, the motto to live by, I remembered it now only because I had to look it up, which is really sad if it's supposed to be my motto for life. But I promise, I used to say this all the time, and I think it's because I haven't said it in a while. That's why it slipped my mind. But it's dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today. And that really is my motto, because I'm very spontaneous. I don't really make plans, because I kind of just want to live life on a whim. Like, if I want to go out and do this, I'm going to go out and do that. And not really like have a plan. I just want to live life, you know, minute by minute, day by day, hour by hour. And I try not to take anything for granted, because you never know when it's your final time or when it's somebody that you're close to and it's their final time. So I really do try to live life to the fullest, live as if it'll be my last day. And I really, really just hope that other people live that way too, because when you have that freedom, when you have that happiness where you can just make memories day by day and not stress and not dwell, you really do live a more fulfilled life. And I think that for the beginning of 2017 has been wonderful for me. I haven't had any stress, and I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want to have any stress, but I haven't had any stress. I've been happy. I've been excited to get up every day, to go to work, to live life, to be with friends, to talk to my family who's all the way across the country. And I feel like this is my opportunity to really understand what it's like to live a fulfilled life, because I don't think that I have been doing that. I think that I've been living, but I haven't been enjoying. And so that's what I'm hoping 2017 will be about. So those are the 20 questions. This is a long 30-minute video almost, but you know, 20 questions. So I hope to get back and do more of this. And for now, I'm gonna go. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.